Hey guys, in this video I'm going to do an iPad 3 rumor roundup. We're pretty close to the release date of the iPad 3 and the announcement, so I'm going to go ahead and throw together a rumor roundup and show you all the different rumors in this video that's going around the web and throw some pictures in there and all that good stuff. So the announcement date has been rumored to be March 7th when they're going to announce the iPad 3. Now we don't know if it's going to be released that day, probably not. They'll probably wait a week or two to release the iPad 3. The design of it is probably going to be very similar to the iPad 2. There's a new picture that's going around on the web that it might have more tapered edges on the iPad, and the camera will probably be a little bit bigger because hopefully it's a higher quality camera, maybe 5 megapixels or maybe 8 megapixels. Alright, so for the display, the iPad 3 is probably going to have a very high resolution display, which the rumors are calling it the Retina display. We don't know if it's going to be Retina like the iPhone, but it's going to be very high resolution. The resolution of the iPad 3 is rumored to be 2048 by 1536, so that's like above HD quality, and that's going to be really amazing. Mac Rumors has this prototype iPad 3 display, it looks like, and they confirmed it under a magnifying glass. It has 4x4 pixels instead of 2x2 pixels. So hopefully we see a really high quality display in this iPad 3. I'm looking forward to that. So again, the cameras on the front and back hopefully are upgraded. The back camera will have probably a 5 megapixel or an 8 megapixel camera. The one on the front might be upgraded a tiny bit, probably not that much, just for FaceTime and photo booth. Alright, so the processor. A new photo came out today of the iPad 3 logic board, which looks like it has an A5X as the processor. Now, as you might know, the iPhone 4 had an A4 and the iPhone 4S has an A5 processor. But this iPad 3 photo looks like it's an A5X, so we don't know if that means it's just going to be an upgraded A5 or the A6 with quad core, or it's just faster dual core, who knows. But we will find that out very shortly. Hopefully it's quad core. I mean, I don't really know how much power you can fit into this thing with quad core, or just boost up the dual core power with faster processor. Hopefully it's still really fast. I mean, obviously it's going to be screaming because the iPad 2 is already amazingly fast. This thing will be super fast. Alright, so the RAM. Not really many rumors going on about the RAM in this thing. Hopefully it's upgraded to 1 gigabyte of RAM because, I mean, if you're going to put a faster processor, why not put more RAM? This thing will be able to handle anything, pages, more gaming, more apps in the background without sluggishness. This thing is just going to be a beauty. It's going to scream, it's going to be fast. I can't wait for this thing. Alright, so the storage. Not many rumors going on about the storage either. I'm thinking they might drop the 16 gigabyte completely and have the base starting price at 32 gigabytes. With all the rumors going on, this thing is going to be like a home run blockbuster, and why not just put the starting storage at 32 gigabytes and drop the 16 gigabytes off completely. And if they do that, I think they'll go 64 gigs for the mid version, and the higher end will be 128 gigabytes. Now that's just my thoughts. I don't know if that's going to be true at all. Hopefully it's true, but probably not. I think they might have the 16 gigabytes still in there. Maybe even for a very cheap version, maybe starting at $400 for the 16 gigabyte. Alright, so the carriers, this thing is obviously going to have AT&T and Verizon. The iPad 2 currently doesn't have Sprint, but I think the iPad 3 is going to have Sprint automatically in there. And hopefully they can just produce one version of the iPad that'll work with all 3 carriers. Maybe you can even switch off carriers as you go depending on where you live. That would be really cool. And there has been lots and lots of rumors of this thing having 4G LTE in it, and that would probably support AT&T and Verizon's 4G networks. The battery would probably be a little bit bigger to help support the 4G speeds, and hopefully the battery life is a little bit better because it's bigger, but we're not really sure. If you turn 4G off, you might be able to sustain better battery life than if it was on. And hopefully the iPad 3 keeps its legendary battery life. I barely have to charge my iPad 2 every couple days. I mean, that thing has amazing battery life. I use it all day for school, and it still works when I come home at night and for the next couple days. So hopefully the iPad 3 keeps it that legendary battery life. Alright, so for the price, I'm thinking they're going to keep the same entry-level $500 price point and increase it by $100 for every storage increase that you go. And for the 3G and 4G models, they might keep the same $130 increase for those as well, but we will find out soon. Okay, so for the availability, we're not really sure on this one. Hopefully it's a week or two, or maybe even a couple days after the March 7th announcement. and I will definitely be getting one of these iPad 3s, probably the Ryzen 4G model if they do have the 4G in it. So look forward to that. I will be unboxing it, posting videos and speed comparisons and all that good stuff on my channel. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. If you're a viewer, thanks for watching. And guys, I will see you in the next video.